So we are a couple days removed from UFC 295, the card everyone doubted, the card everyone hated on since John Jones' Stipe Miocic was removed, and these fighters delivered. We got 5 knockouts, a knockout in every fight on this main card. So they delivered, and this is why we love the UFC, right? The UFC is very different from boxing. In boxing, you're really going to pay like, $85, $90, $95 for a pay-per-view, really just to watch one fight most of the time, which is the main event. But for these UFC cards, you get a cheaper of a price. Yeah, it's still a little bit more pricey. They've been increasing the price, but that's ESPN doing that. But in my opinion, you have an actual better chance of getting a good return on your money for what you paid for. We had a lot of people hating on this past card. A lot of people thinking it wasn't really worth spending the money. It wasn't really worth buying. And man, we got 5 banger fights, knockout after knockout, crazy knockout after crazy knockout too. These weren't just little BS type knockouts. People were getting put to bed. Pillow, blanket, night. So this card did not disappoint at all. And of course, we're going to be talking about the main event. What the hell went down? Alex Pereira knocks out Yuri Prochazka. At first, seemed very, very controversial. Even in my eyes, watching it live, I was like, man, that seemed early. But I could see the stoppage. He fell on his back and, Alex Pereira fell into mount. So, and at the end of the day, with that power, I'm sure the referee didn't want to take any chances with him taking extra shots from Alex Pereira. Trust me, I don't think anyone wants to take any extracurricular shots from a guy like Alex Pereira. So this was at first seeming another situation like a Herb Dean when Herb Dean stopped the fight when Ben Askren submitted Robbie Lawler, right? It looked like his arm went down and went limp. And knowing that Ben Askren has a really, really tight squeeze, he has really good submission game, he called it off immediately as Robbie Lawler's arm went down. But Robbie's arm went down because he was trying to relax. But the ref doesn't know that. So to take extra precaution and try to protect the fighter, he had to quickly make a quick decision in a split second and stop the fight, which I get it. A lot of fans kind of hate on it when referees do that, but you got to put yourselves in the refs' shoes. The refs are right there on the action. They're the ones that have all the pressure. They don't get to watch a replay and then redo it over. They only get one shot, one opportunity. They got to protect these fighters, right? If they see something is wrong, they cannot hesitate, because if they hesitate, all you will be shitting on them and saying it was a late stoppage if it was late. And then if they do stop the fight like they did in this case, he's trying to protect Yuri Prochazka from taking any further damage. And Yuri kind of does some crazy movements, looking like he's still trying to work. He tries to protect him, and then people shit on him for saying he's stopping the fight too early. But Yuri Prochazka ends up kind of saving Mark Goddard this time, because he says he was out. He comes out and says that he was out and that it was a good stoppage. But regardless, Alex Pereira gets the win. This guy has a chance to make history. He is now among the very few who've been able to become a UFC champion in 2 separate weight classes. However, he didn't do it simultaneously, but still a big time accomplishment and definitely one for the record books. And it's crazy because it's just been 10 fights into his MMA career, and the guy is already a 2-time champion in 2 separate weight classes. And I'm not going to lie, he can make serious history if he were to do the unthinkable. And what that is if he were to move up to heavyweight. I don't think he should do it immediately, because there's a lot of guys in light heavyweight. But I think Alex Pereira, before he retires, before he calls it quits, I think he should go for the 3rd belt. No other fighter has ever done it in history, in UFC history. So I think he should stick at light heavyweight for a little while, defend his belt, of course. As the saying goes in combat sports, you're never really a champion until you defend the belt, until you defend your throne. You can't really call yourself a true champion. So I think he should stay in light heavyweight. Plus, there's a lot of big fights for him in light heavyweight. But as I was saying, if Alex Pereira sometime decides he wants to move up to heavyweight, oh man, we could have a 3-division champion, possibly. I mean, of course, it's a tough task to ask, especially with someone like Tom Aspinall waiting for him, because Tom Aspinall is very, very well-rounded. and he is so quick for his size. So it will be a tough task to ask for, but I think someone like Alex Pereira, if he takes his time, don't rush it. If he takes his time, similar to Jon Jones, maybe not take that long, but similar to Jon Jones, if he takes his time and works his body and gets right and gets into the heavyweight division the right way instead of rushing it, I like his chances. Plus, it is for history, man. The first ever 3-division champion in the UFC. How could you argue against that? Now, I don't think him doing this will consider him as the greatest MMA fighter of all time, but it'll definitely put him up there among the top because he has something. He could say, all right, I did something that no MMA fighter has ever done before. So he has a good argument. Of course, he will definitely at that point be pound for pound number one. Without a doubt, there wouldn't be any question. I don't care if Islam Makhachev goes up and earns the welterweight strap and becomes a two-time champion. I don't care. If Alex Pereira goes up to heavyweight and becomes a 3-division champion in the UFC, the first ever, the guy is pound for pound number one in the world. There's no question about it. And definitely earns a spot among the best of all time. But I think the only thing that will really set him back is his resume. Unless he moves up there and beats Jon Jones, but I don't see that happening. I think Jon Jones will be retiring after the Stipe Miocic fight. But Alex Pereira is in a very, very unique position where he has the size and he has the tools, and the opponents, the favorable opponents are there. There's a lot of favorable opponents in heavyweight that whoever gets to the top, I think he has a good chance of beating that guy. Yeah, there's never a 100% guarantee, but I like his chances. Now, looking at this light heavyweight ranking, I think he should take the Jamal Hill fight. I think he should take the Magomed Ankalaev fight. That guy, they low-key did that guy dirty because now he's in no man's land and no one is even talking about him fighting for the belt. So Magomed Ankalaev, he has earned it in my opinion. And I'm not going to lie, after those two, I wouldn't be mad if he decided to move up to heavyweight. Why not? It's for history. You're not the youngest guy, so you don't have all that much time. As much as you would like to have that much time, let's be real. In this sport, it's a young man's game, and eventually time is going to catch up to you, and you're going to get super chinny, and people are going to knock you out left and right, front and center. So I think knock those two fights out, and then move up to heavyweight and make history. That's what I would like to see from Alex Pereira from this point on. But of course, I want to see your opinions. Let me know in the comments below. What do you think should be next for Alex Pereira? Would you like the Jamal Hill fight? Would you like the Magomed Ankalaev fight? Would you like a Yuri Prochazka rematch? We also got Jan Blachowicz moving around in there. They had that close decision. And do you like the idea of possibility of Alex Pereira moving up to heavyweight and trying to go for history for the 3 separate weight division UFC champion? Of course, feel free to let me know in the comments down below what your thoughts on all this are. As always, thank you all so much for the support, and I'll catch you in the next video.